Morning, good morning. Hey y'all, come on in. We're gonna get started writing in just a few minutes. I'm going to start my vibration plate. Oh, there we go, girl. All right. Good morning, y'all. Let me go ahead and get the music started while y'all are making your way in. How are y'all doing today? How was your weekend? Happy 1st of February. Today is February 1st, right? Yep, 2026. How did we get here so fast? Like, really? How? What's going on? And y'all, this is, I'm going to read a little bit to y'all because I actually have a workbook that goes along with these sessions that we're doing, the Tell the Truth Daughter sessions. And this book is called, obviously, is part one of a three-part series. And this first one is Tell the Truth Daughter, How to Write the Memoir You Were Never Meant to Tell. And of course, it's by me. And so this workbook goes along with these sessions that we're doing, and it's actually available for you to grab this book. You can grab it right from my bookstore. The link is in the description of the video. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put it in the chat as well. Make it easy for you to grab that. And I'm gonna read a little bit from it this morning as we get started. But I just want to give you a quick lay of the land here. If you haven't been here before, what we do is we have 50 minutes of focused writing. So we'll have a timer going for 50 minutes, very focused writing. And that could be research, that could be putting prompts into your chat GPT, that could be whatever. Did I say research already? That could be actively writing, that could be recording into your voice transcription app or anything like that. Anything that is moving you forward, outlining, conceptualizing, editing, anything that is moving you forward in your writing journey, that's what this time is for. And so for 15 minutes straight, we do focused work. And then for 10 minutes, we take a movement break, sort of like what I'm doing right now, which is just on my vibration plate, just getting some movement in. They say this is really good for lymphatic drainage, it's good for tightening and toning and weight loss and all that good stuff. So I actually love it. I love the way it feels for like pain. It helps to like shake out stiffness in my muscles and in my joints a little bit. So that's why I really like it. Let me turn this down just a little bit. I want to make sure that y'all can hear me just fine. So let me do a sound check real quick. Y'all get on in here, get your stuff together, get your writing materials. What are you working on today? Okay. Okay. Y'all can hear me. Okay, so yeah, get your writing materials together and let me know in the chat what are you working on and what are you working on and where are you writing from? Okay, so like, are you working on like let's say memoir, uh, some type of story time series, a let me see what else could you be working on? A card deck, a journal, a manual, a webinar, some type of class or a course that you want to give. What are you working on? Let me know in the chat. And then, also where are you writing from? And we have these sessions, and sometimes I feel like it's so late. I'm going live and it's late. Like, who's up writing right now? But you could be. And even if you are not, tuning in right when we're live, still watch these back. And, just use this as, like the same thing you would be using it for if you were live. Like we're all just in this joint writing session. And, even though we could be in totally different parts of the world right now, we're together, and we're giving each other some great, positive, creative energy and holding each other accountable. So about this Tell the Truth Daughter guidebook, and it's a how to write the memoir you were never meant to tell. And I'm just going to read the back blurb for you. And then we'll go ahead and get started writing. And the back of the book says, "Tell the truth, daughter. How to write the memoir you were never meant to tell." And then it says, "You've held the story in silence for long enough. You've lived through experiences others ignored, minimized, or explained away. You learned to doubt your intuition, protect people who didn't protect you, and keep the peace at the expense of your voice. This book changes that." In Tell the Truth, Daughter, international best-selling author Delores Michelle Peters guides you through the process of writing a clean, clear, discernment-driven memoir that tells the truth without fear, without apology, and without permission. Inside, you'll learn how to identify the story, the real story behind, or excuse me, beneath the events. You will write with clarity instead of emotional overwhelm. You will recognize patterns you were never taught to see. You will tell the truth about others without defaming anyone. You will structure your memoir with confidence. And finally, you will finish with calm, courage, and full authority. You don't you don't need approval to tell your story. You don't need permission to write about what shaped you. You don't need validation to reclaim your voice. You only need the courage to begin and the discernment to finish. If you're ready to write the memoir you were never meant to tell, this book will guide you every step of the way. And the entire series will take you even further. But before we can even get there, we have to just tell the truth. And right now, that could be messy for you, right? Like, so these sessions, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be neat. It doesn't even really have to make a whole lot of sense. What I want you to do is just get it out, right? Like, get the information out of you onto paper, onto some type of recording where it can be transcribed or, something like that. Um, and then we'll work on the next parts of it, right? Because once you get it out of you, it's like you gain so much clarity, you gain so much insight as to who you are, your purpose. You even gain a lot of clarity as to what your actual message is, like what you went through. How can it be transformed into something that begins to serve you? You know, and ultimately, if we have gone through these experiences, I mean, the very least we can, use our experiences to enrich someone else, to heal and to enrich ourselves. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And so as we get started in these sessions, y'all just realize that this is just a good joint writing session, and that the whole purpose is to tell the truth, like just to get it out of you, to release it. Okay, and then you can work on whatever comes after that. After that, okay. And if you want to go a little bit further with me, then let me know in the chat. Are you wanting to, have a little bit more of some one-on-ones, some more, the more direct contact with me in order to get some really good information, some great discernment nuggets and teachings that I can give you regarding writing your memoir, speaking from, trauma and experiences, abuse maybe that you have experienced at the hands of people that you love. And it could be at the hands of people that you love that are still alive. That was my situation, and I still, spoke with boldness, with truth, with clarity. And now that I've, gone through that process, I have even more clarity, and I can see, the places where I did mess up, where I did compromise other people in the effort to tell my story. And we do have to consider that. We have to consider the other people who are involved or who are connected but not involved. And we want to be discerning about other people who are involved in our story, that as we're telling the truth, that we also protect people who are vulnerable, and realizing that there are still people who may be vulnerable in situations. And so as we're telling the truth, sometimes they may create a dangerous situation for ourselves and others. And we want to be discerning about that, right? Like, maybe the timing isn't right for you to release it, but it's the timing is right for you to get it out of you. So that's why I say focus now on just getting it out. It doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to be out, right, of you. But before you take a step on putting it out into the world or deciding what to do with it, just release it. Okay. And so for this session, I want you to take those nuggets away and, use that to drive you in this session to really just release however ugly and however messy it is. Okay, that's your goal for this writing session. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can look at this timer together. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this timer down because it usually starts out pretty loud. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, and then we're gonna, yeah. All right, ladies, let's go ahead and get started writing. I thought we were done, Chef. We had a few more seconds left. All right, y'all. How was it? How was that first session? Y'all okay? I always have to ask y'all. I'd be like, y'all all right? Look, child. For the first, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes, maybe more of that first session, y'all. I was just trying to get my bearings. Like I was just trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I trying to accomplish right now? What in the world? You know? How was it for y'all? So, so, um, I I will tell y'all what I was working on though. I've been doing a little bit of cleaning up my platforms because I have several, but that has kind of given me a bit of overwhelm. You know what I mean? Like I'm overwhelmed, okay, with how many platforms I have, and mainly because I didn't streamline my content, right? So I had like content that was best for one platform. I was like maybe sharing it on all of my platforms. It just wasn't. Hold on, y'all. Let me start. Y'all know we're supposed to be moving right now. Let me start my vibration. Like, if y'all see me forget to do this, say something, okay? But anyway, y'all get up and move, okay? We got to do 10 minutes, 10 minutes of movement, okay? So anyway, so like, what was I saying, child? Jesus Christ, what was I saying? Oh Lord. Oh, I've been cleaning up my platforms. So I've had like content that I was sharing across all my platforms. It just wasn't appropriate. Okay, so for instance, these live writing sessions, right? I was sharing them across all of my platforms. That was like, I had a few pages on YouTube and a few pages on Facebook. I was sharing. I was even sharing it on TikTok, and but it's not necessarily appropriate for all of those platforms or the particular channels that I was on. Like I decided not to air this on my personal Facebook page because I want that to be more about the stuff that I do in the community, more of my like, day-to-day type stuff, I don't want to put like heavier stuff on my personal Facebook page because that's just not the place for it, I mean, I don't regret having it there because I did want people to know what I was doing, what I was into, things that I'm, producing and stuff like that. But it's just no longer appropriate there. It's like it's too much, right? So like one one post you'll see as you scroll may be about line dance and karaoke, right? Then the next one you post that you'll see posted is about daddy issues, and then the next one is a live writing session, and then the next one is just maybe what I ate for breakfast, or me singing live, or like so it's just all over the place. Or you may see something I'm doing locally in the community, like promoting businesses and stuff like that, and it's like it just got so messy. And then I got to the point where as I was getting deeper into certain things I was talking about, I didn't want, just people, from my past and stuff like that really even seeing it. It's like my story and what I'm doing here is for the daughter it's meant for. It's not meant for everybody who ever knew me to, to see all that and to know all that. You know what I mean? Like it was good while it lasted, but when it was time to let that go, it was time to let that go. And that's how it is now. So I've been just kind of cleaning up my platforms and having, putting the proper content in its proper place, and on its proper platform so that the daughters who it's meant for can find it, you know. Um, and then who is not meant for won't find it, okay? Because that's just is equally as important, trust me, okay? Because like even like talking about daddy issue stuff over on my personal Facebook page, where it's just like I know they're gonna be like guys that I may have talked to in the past or something that may see it, or what I mean. It's just like y'all need to see that. Like ain't none of my decision gonna change about what I did with you. You know what I'm saying? And really, I don't even have no recollection of it. Okay? If we really be honest, I don't even remember you. Okay, sir. So I really don't even, want you seeing all this, you know, me making my daddy issues, confessions, and stuff. Like, nah, bruh. You don't need to see all that. You don't need to know all that. Okay. So, and it's not meant for everybody to consume it. It's meant for the daughters who can relate to it, who have their own stories that they want to share, that they'll be able to find this information over there and it not interfere. As a matter of fact, I'm also I'm also streaming on one of my other Facebook page, my professional Facebook page, and I low key want to take it over there, but no, I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'll leave it for now. And I'm gonna decide if this is even a good place. So for now, you'll see me. I have a channel called Delores, the Pastor's Daughter, and the Daughters of Discernment page over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can catch me in those places. But see, the kind of content that's going to exist over on the Daughters of Discernment page is after I process the things that I'm going to probably be processing over on Dolores, the Pastor's Daughter page. You know what I mean? So, like, over there is where we'll be talking about religion. We'll be talking about, like, deconstructing. We'll be talking about, growing up, with seeing, like, that dissonance between, the things that the Bible say, the things that were demonstrated, the teachings, we'll start to deconstruct all that stuff. We'll start to deconstruct how daddy issues showed up in our relationships and in our everyday lives, and we'll talk about all that kind of stuff over on Dolores the Pastor's Daughter page, right? Because we're gonna get down into it. But see, I don't want everybody on my Facebook page seeing all that. And then if you're over on the Daughters of Discernment page, then I want you to get the content that you came over there for, which is discernment, like heavy discernment, So I think that's what you're going to be thinking about when you see Daughters of Discernment. You're thinking about women who are discernment focused, who want to learn more about the discernment, who want to sharpen their discernment skills, that type of stuff. So that is what will be over on the Daughters of Discernment page. I just got through uploading a whole series called The Trojan Horses Around Us. The ones that we accept into our lives, not realizing that they're really dangerous for us. These are the Trojan horses. And it is highlighting that it's a whole series. And it's a becoming series that's going to teach you how to become a Trojan horse yourself, right? But to become a Trojan horse of truth. You're not coming in there with a bunch of deception, but you do need to come in there not as obvious that it's you. That you come in there with truth. Sometimes you have to conceal yourself, just like they did in the Trojan horse story, the original story, where it was about deception. This is like flipping it on its head, right? And turning it to this is a positive thing, that we can learn a lot of those same tactics, those same skills, but we learn it in order to protect us and in order to bring truth to a situation, right? And sometimes we can't just go in there like, boom, here we are. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. No, you have to come in there a bit concealed, hiding inside of what looks like it's a gift, just like the Trojan was. And so that you'll see that series over on the Daughters of Discernment page. Right now, I've been dropping the chapter 7 of Dr. Ramani's book, Don't You Know Who I Am? And this is a book about narcissism. But this particular chapter talks about the narcissist who raised you, and kind of getting some understanding and some clarity about how that impacted you, the stories that other people are telling about their experience growing up with a narcissistic parent. And even though I talk about my father because he was the narcissist that I grew up with, I know based on what I have seen, what I've witnessed, what I've learned, that it doesn't matter the gender. This is a heavily spiritual thing. And even though we may see it more so in men, I think nowadays we're realizing that we may have been wrong. We may have had some blinders up when we thought that it was mostly men. I think it may be even somewhat equal across the board, but women are able to camouflage that a bit better. But we're seeing now, as people are realizing that narcissism is a heavily spiritual thing, they're starting to get away from the gender specific, you know, way of looking at it. That it's deeper than the surface level. If you're looking at anything on the surface level, you're not looking far. You're not looking deep enough. You're not, right? Because everything is much deeper than what you can see. It just like just go ahead and just realize that across the board. Across the board, it's deeper than what you see. And so that's part of you know, that's the teachings that is consistent across my platforms, but certain content belongs in certain places, and then depending on how I teach it or how I deliver the content also depends on where it lives. Because some, like, so let's say for this series that I'm introducing to you now, the Trojan Horse series, that's like a story time series, but it's not like a personal series, right? So for personal stuff, you go over to Delores, the pastor's daughter, you know, and even more personal onto like my Facebook pages. But for teaching content and like, hey, this is how you sharpen your discernment skills, that content lives over on the Daughters of Discernment page only. Does that make sense? And I encourage you to think about this the same way as you are telling your story, that certain things, certain content belong in certain places. Um, and that's to protect you as well as to reach the person it's intended to reach, just as much as it's intended to not reach the people is not meant to reach. You know what I mean? Like, they're both important when it comes down to talking about stories of your trauma and abuse and stuff that you've been through. Okay, that's part of being a discerning memoirist. So someone who is telling her story, you have to use discernment in this. Okay, you want to just be able to just say what it is, just speak your truth. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just accept it. It is what it is. But no, it's not. Okay, you have to protect yourself at the end of the day, and you have to weigh out that cost. Do I accept the cost of telling my truth and knowing that these risks exist? Do I need to give it some time? Do I need to give it an alias? Do I need to make it fiction? You know what I mean? Do I need to do certain things? That's where discernment comes in. But for now, for these sessions, just get it out. Okay, just get it out, get it out, get it out. So let's get back into writing. We're going to go right on into our next 50-minute writing session. I've done enough talking. And again, you guys, I want to give a shout out to Million Reason. That's the YouTube page that I'm using for this timer. And as you can see, they have a bunch of different timers available, hour, 50 minutes. If you can go that long without stopping, I mean, do it. And then get up and take a movement break, okay? Like, don't neglect your body and how you need to continue to move that stuff out of you, okay? So let's go ahead and get back started. Let's get started writing, girlfriends. Hey y'all. Ooh, child. How was it, girl? How was it? We did that, right? We did our we did our two 15-minute live writing sessions, and we're about to do our next movement break. And here's what I want for you. Once you get done with this next movement break, if you feel up to it, keep on writing. Keep going. You've got some momentum going right now, so capitalize on that. Um, sometimes it just takes being in this environment just to, give you that boost. Kind of kick off your your writing journey. And maybe it's just it's just a daily thing. This is your daily writing journey. It kicks you off for the day, and now you can just kind of ride that wave throughout the day. Whenever you get a little bit of time, start what you're doing, and start writing, start recording yourself. Don't y'all do not sleep on voice recordings, okay? Do not sleep on that, because sometimes when you are speaking your story, you tell it differently than when you're writing it, right? Because you're writing. So it's like it's a whole different thing. It's like a whole different part of your brain almost that you're using, right? Like um the way I talk and the way I write is totally different. But if you tell the story like you would tell me, like you would tell your best girlfriend, like you're telling her this story, you're going to give like details that you wouldn't necessarily give if you were writing. So there's a lot of power in speaking it, right? Especially like think about like when you read someone's story and it's like you can almost hear them saying it, you can hear it in their voice. That's a powerful skill that a person was able to capture by like really capturing their own voice in written words, you know? But sometimes the best way to do that is to actually make those written words, you know? Like they started off as written words. I spoke this into my voice recorder, and then I can get transcribed, and then I cleaned it up, right? Because we're gonna say like a lot of filler words, right? We're gonna repeat ourselves like I just did. And we can cut out all of that. We can cut out the the you know what I mean, the ands and the like, and where you use it unnecessarily or where you use it as a filler word. You can cut all that out in the editing process. That's an easy thing. You can have a little, your little search thing, figure out all of the and all of that you said in the recording, or you can have other AI applications that'll clean up your writing like ChatGPT. You can take a recording that you have transcribed and then put it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to clean it up for you and to make it succinct. And that is a tool that you have available to you that will help you to move forward in your writing journey that you probably just didn't even think about. You didn't even realize, like, dang, yeah, that would totally change the game for me. I'll be able to really produce more stuff if I could just talk it, you know. I could be in my car and just talk it. I could lay down, just before a nap and I got something on my mind, speak it into my voice recording application, and then you have something that would normally take you, this 2-hour writing session to produce. You can produce it a whole lot easier if you use the tools that are available to you, okay? These tools are only bad in bad hands, okay? But for the daughters who are using it for righteous reasons, for telling her story, for putting great things out into the world, for helping the next daughter, you know, for healing herself through her process, it's a good thing, okay? So use the application, use the AI tools that are available to you, okay? I told y'all I have my chat GBT trained, okay? My chat GBT knows who I am, knows what I stand for, knows who my message is for. It knows like, okay, like the thoughts that I've had and the things that I've tried to create because I put it all in there, you know? And yeah, I mean, I can see where you would, kind of be a little bit nervous about it. You'd be a little scared about the possibilities of AI and where it could go. But also, you got to kind of think about it on the opposite end too. You know that things are going to move forward without you. you know that you're not going to be able to stop it because you're insecure about it or because you're fearful. These things are going to go on without you. So what you do is use it to your advantage, right? Start to process it in your mind that as long as I'm using it for good reasons, it's not bad. It's good. I'm putting good things out into the world. And ChatGPT is helping me to produce a little bit faster. It's helping me to be more focused, more streamlined, more outlined. So I'm not all over the place. Like if I didn't use my ChatGPT, I'd be all over the place. I put into ChatGPT the exact things that I was telling you about earlier in this video about how I can organize my content on the different platforms that I'm on. I asked ChatGPT to help me with that. And it was like ChatGPT told me, yeah, like you're right along the same track because you are multidimensional. You have so many things that you're interested in. I do line dance. I do I'll do my makeup. I'll do different. There's so many different things that I'm into. I'm into the Daughters of Discernment. I teach. I coach. I'm just a girl too at the end of the day. I've lost a lot of weight here recently, and I'm on this nutrition journey where I want to talk to people who have maybe been on those GLP-1s, those weight loss medications, which was what I was on, and which helped me to lose weight. But now I'm like, okay, how can I make sure that this doesn't make me look sunken in the face? It doesn't, take a whole lot of, like, you could tell, like, some people who've been on those shots, they look lifeless. Sometimes they, lose a lot of structure, a lot of muscle, and I want to avoid those things. So I want to take you guys on the journey with me, but like, I can't do that across all my platforms. It's like certain things belong in certain places. So I asked ChatGPT to help me to organize my content when it makes sense. So when the daughters just need discernment information, they just need some nuggets on how to strengthen their discernment muscle, they know where to go. And that when they go over there, they're not going to be, overwhelmed by all of the other interests that I'm in. Instead, if you're interested in this part of me, then come over here where, I'll put that type of content. Now, that's going to help you as you move forward in your writing journey. Once you start putting your book out there, you start coaching, you start doing other things, showing people different aspects of your life or, different dimensions of you. You have to be strategic. You have to be discerning about where that stuff lives. Um, so, different on different platforms, people get a different type of access to me. They get a different viewpoint, different perspective of my life. Like if you follow me on all the platforms, you get probably like a really holistic view. But you know that doesn't belong everywhere, and that's okay. There's just nothing wrong with that. You know? So I want to encourage you, if you are still, you still have that flow that you want to keep writing today, keep on writing. It's Sunday, um, February 1st. I love starting stuff on a Sunday, and I love starting stuff on the first of the month. So this is like a perfect day for me to start start a bunch of stuff. You know, not really, because that's not really smart. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a good day to start. Today, right now, is a good day to just start. It's the first of the month. And it's the first, like to me, I consider Sundays to be like my first day of the week when I start stuff. So, Mondays work too, if that's what you're into. But you're here right now. Today is Sunday if you're watching me live, or if you're watching me, today at all. It's Sunday, February 1st, 2026. It's a good day to start. And let's just say when you're watching this, it's no longer February 1st, 2026. It's no longer Sunday. So what? Okay? Start today anyway. Just start. Okay? Just start. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and grab this book. The link is in the description. Also, I'm going to go ahead while I have this last few seconds of talking to y'all. I'm going to go ahead and rub in my paprika and chili balsam. Let me go ahead and put that QR code so y'all can grab your tube. As a matter, yeah, that's what I'll do for you. Go ahead and put that right there, and you can grab your tube. That'll take you directly to it, so you can put it right into your cart. Okay. And while you're over there, if you are looking for any other health and beauty, wellness products, you can find that right over there in my pharmacy store. The link is right there. You can find that right after you put that paprika and chili balsam in your cart, honey. Look, I done pulled my pants down. Y'all can't even see. I'm about to pull my pants all the way down, child. Lord. But I'm just rubbing this on my hip, y'all, because that's where I have that's where my pain is mostly when I'm sitting down writing like this. That's where my pain usually shows up there and in my shoulders. So I'm not gonna take my shirt off right now, but even still, even just like this, you can take, take your shirt and just rub that. I'm gonna have some on my hand, as you can see. You can see that. You know, see that? You rub that right on into that shoulder and just kind of like, you know, try to dig your fingers in just a little bit so you can, massage that muscle right there really good. But that's where I always have my pain, like when I'm sitting down writing, especially right in my shoulders and in my hip. So I'm gonna let that dry up a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, you guys. Right? A little bit goes a long way. So you can grab the tube. You can see it right there at the bottom of your screen. It's just a really quick QR code. But if you don't have the ability to scan, I also put the link right there in the chat and in the description of this video. So y'all can grab that whenever you get a chance. And then let me know, child. Let me know how well it's working for you. And before we go, before I leave y'all for the day, I am going to read our little note for the day. I changed my little thingy. I've got this little, I guess it's like little affirmations for the day. I want to create one of these for us, for the discerning daughters, right? Big things. What did it say? Big things often. Ooh. Battle preach. Is that not what I was just talking about? Big things often have small beginnings. Look at that. February 1st. This is the word for the day, y'all. This is a whole word. Okay? One of y'all pastors can preach this. Even the Bible says, despise not small beginnings. This is where you start, y'all. You start with these live writing sessions. They seem really, really simple, but before you know it, you will have made so much progress in your writing. Okay? And what I'm going to do for y'all is I can't guarantee that I will be live at any particular time of the day. Okay? I can't guarantee that. But I am like putting my word out there that I am going to do everything in my power to be present every day in February. Okay? It's the first of the month, every day in February. I can't guarantee the time. Okay? But I write every day, and it's really not that big of a problem to come on here and write with y'all. Y'all see I'm gonna come on here looking a mess. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, child. Y'all can't tell. Okay, no, you cannot. It's just we just got to get it done, okay? And before you know it, y'all are going to have written so many great things and put so many, or be ready to at least put so many great things out into the world. And to heal yourself and to strengthen your discernment. So many great things are going to happen from this. As long as you apply yourself, participate, show up. And if I happen to do this, at a time that's not convenient for you, just go back and watch it whenever you can. I'm going to give you some good nuggets on our movement breaks. I'm going to read from Tell the Truth, Daughter, and you can grab this book yourself right now in my bookstore. Okay? You can grab this right now. It's interactive. It's got journal pages in there for you. It's meant for you to write directly in here and to get your memoir started um and write from a discerning place, okay? So, I know this is going to bless you. And so let me know when y'all grab it. Let me know in the chat what you're working on. I'm your accountability partner. You're my accountability partner. I love you. And remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive. Bye bye for now.